is board broken, and I'm going to be teaching you 7 choose 4. The way this module works, there's 7 colors, that's where the 7 comes from, and there's 4 reads, that's where the 4 comes from. So you're going to be pressing, pressing in 4 codes based on the 4 colors shown in order, using 4 reads from here on different letters. So you're going to have a tap code read, a color read, a Morse code read, and a number read. Tap code works pretty easily. You have a long pause, and then you have your row, and then a space, and then your column. So here I have row 1, column 3, which ends up being a Charlie in tap code. Next is my color key. The colors are going to be flashing the order of the colors I have, plus an extra color. So I have blue, something, magenta, cyan, so that something would be white because it's showing blue, white, magenta, cyan. And the last color is magenta. That means that the key for my color key is an M, it's a mic. So blue, white, magenta, cyan, magenta, color key is M. Next is dot, dash, dash in Morse, pretty simple. That's going to be W, no whiskey, in Morse. And finally, I have 4 in my number code. So it's going to be long flashes, longer than a dash in Morse. And you're going to count up, and then it'll be a long pause. So there's 4 of those. And if we look at the manual, that is our number key. We take the number in this list. So if we had 4, we had R, G, B, M. The 4th one is magenta. So that letter is mic. So you might be wondering why I wrote it out differently here, and that's because the order we use our key letters and the order we use the colors are actually different. So let's go back to the manual. The order you need to submit the code is the same as the order of the colors from top to bottom. So blue, white, magenta, cyan is the order of the codes we're going to be submitting. Those are the rules we're going to be using for the codes. However, the key for the first color is the color key. So this magenta we got from the flashing colors is going to end up being our first key. So that goes with the first color, which is blue. Then we go down from there, wrapping around as necessary. So color key was M, then Morse key was W, then number key was M, and finally tap code key was Charlie. So we have our keys on the right in that order, from the color key going down, and then our colors on the left in that order, just from the top going down. So our first code we're going to get is from the color blue and the letter mic. So let's scroll down to blue. What does blue say? So convert the input key to its alphanumeric position. Mic is a 13. Subtract 5 from the value until it is in the range 1 to 5. 13, subtract 10 becomes 3. That is our row. So we have a row of 3. Then we need to check the serial number, which I should have grabbed first, but I'm the most intelligent being. So we need to grab the first letter that appears between A and E. So we don't have any letters that appear between A and E. So instead, convert the row number to a letter and use this letter as a column. So if we had like a Charlie in here or something, then we would use row Charlie, or a delta. Column Charlie or column delta if there was a delta in serial number. We don't, so 3 becomes Charlie. It's the 3rd letter in the alphabet. Okay. And then we go here. That's our starting position. Based on the column and the row. Next, we point in the direction that allows us to travel the longest possible distance. So, for example, if instead we were here, we would point in the direction going right because we could travel 3. But since we're in the middle, it's tied. So, ties are broken in favor of north and clockwise. So we look north and clockwise in case we had to break like these 2 ties. North would always win. Or if we had to break this tie, south would always win, because north, east, south. South is the first clockwise that we could, but we're going north. Now we're going to go to a number of spaces equal to the number of AA batteries. If we look at our AA batteries, we have exactly 0. So we're not going to move it an inch. Next we're going to look at going in a different direction, so same rules, so if we move to a different position, we would then look for the longest distance we can go. It's still a four-way tie, and now its ties are broken south and clockwise, so since all of them are the same, we're going south. We're going to move based on the number of D batteries on the bomb, and we have, I think, 2. Yes, we have 2 D batteries on the bomb. So we move down 2, and our first code is going to be 4312. So the way we're going to input this, the bottom, they just numbered 1, 2, 3, 4 from the top button. So 4312 is our first one. So now we've put in the blue one. Now submission changes because submission is not based on this number. This button isn't always 1, 2, 3, and 4. It is based on what color we're on. So we are on the white one now. So this is button 1, this is button 2, this is button 3, and this is button 4. Going from white down and then wrapping around, if that makes sense. So this green button up here is going to be button 4 now. Okay, so what does the white rule say? Well, white rule is a wildcard. It's, I guess, kind of a unicorn, but not really. Essentially, we get to choose any color and use that as our solution. So for easy ones, let's just remove those. I like magenta. Magenta is really easy, especially if you've already done it once before. Another easy one is green and red. I'll go over all of them. I'll just do magenta right now. Actually, I don't have the serial number down, but that's fine. So we're going to find the key letter in the grid. That's another whiskey. Then we're going to find the first 4 characters of the serial number grid in the grid. So if we look at our serial, we have Mike Papa uniform and Mike Papa 3 uniform. It's actually just, let's just write down our serial number in case we need it again. I'm a little unprepared. Okay, that's fine. So now we're going to go to Mike and then Papa, and then we're converting numbers to letters. So 3 would become delta because alpha is 0, Bravo is 1, Charlie is 2, Delta is 3. So delta, and finally uniform is over here. So we're just finding the first 4 characters in this grid. Then we're going to calculate the number of spaces it would take to walk there. Essentially just going in an orthogonal path. So to Mike it would take, let's just put this in green, 1, 2, 3 to go there. So first numbers are 3. Then for Papa it would be 1, 2, 3, 4. So we put a 4 there. Then for Delta, or the 3 would be 1, and for the uniform it would be 1. So that's our next code, 3411. And I just chose magenta because I find it the easiest, and we have a wildcard. So remember, this is 3411. Okay, that one's done. Next we have magenta. Oh, cool, we get to do another magenta, and we already have our grid set up. So if you have a magenta in the future, it's also nice to have, to do magenta as your white. We have Mike, Papa, Delta, uniform. And instead of our letter being whiskey, it is also Mike. So if we start on the same letter, that's 0, and then we add 4 to get 4. So our first number is 4. And then we can go Papa 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 minus 4 is 1. And then Delta 1, 2, 3, 4. And uniform 1, 2. So our next code is 4142. This is now our 4, so 4142. Cool. And then finally a cyan. So Charlie. Let's go to Charlie, or let's go to cyan rule. It's down here. Okay, cool. So we're converting the key to a number. So we have our key is Charlie, so it's going to be 3. It's already between 1 and 7, so we don't need to do that. So the number is 1, 2, 3. So our first letter is a Bravo for this cyan rule. Then you need 3 other colors, so you'll use the 3 other colors corresponding to 3 other buttons. So we're on rule Charlie, so the other letters are blue, white, and magenta. So we have blue, blue, white, magenta as our 4 colors for the cyan rule. Now we're going to count primary and secondary colors. Primary colors are red, green, blue, and white, and secondary colors are magenta, cyan, yellow, and white. White counts for both, because of course it does. I mean, I guess you can think of it as all colors, but whatever. So we have blue, blue, and white as 3 primary colors, and we have white and magenta as 2 secondary colors. So we're going to highlight the 3 primary section and the 2 secondary section, and then we're just going to put them next to each other. So our code ends up being 4, 2, 3, 1. And now we can put this in here. Gotta remember, this is 4, 2, 3, 1. Okay, it's a solve 7, choose 4. I'm going to do one more. I've already gotten the read just to show you the other rules in case you're confused. So I actually have it over here hidden away. It's the bottom middle one. Cool. Oh, my lights are out. That's fine. So my next rule for this would be another white rule, and it's a Romeo. Let's just do magenta again, because I like magenta. It's easy. And let's go to Romeo. So, oops. Let me just remember that the serial number went in the order of Mike Papa for uniform. Okay. So to get to Mike, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, or 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. And then to Papa is 1 step. To Delta it's 2 steps, and to uniform is 1, 2, 3, 4 steps. So first one is going to be 2, 1, 2, 4. Cool. And you can put anything in there and they'll all work. I just, again, use magenta because it's easy for me. Next is the yellow rule in green. This one's a good one to go over just because it can be confusing. So what does yellow rule look like? We're going to start with the word yellow. Then we're going to take the letter golf and take the closest letter to golf and remove it from here. So golf is 7th letter, echo is the closest, so let's remove echo. And then we take the inverse of golf. So we're essentially taking 27 minus 7, because golf is 7, right? Yes, so 27 minus 7 is the 20th letter, which is tango. Let me just write this out. PQRSTUVW. Okay, yeah, so W is going to be closer. Just making sure, because I've messed this up before. Counting is hard. So W is the closest letter in yellow to it, so I'm also going to get rid of the W in yellow. Now I'm left with Y, L, L, O. Now I need to put these letters in, the code I'm going to submit are these letters in order, but first I shift these letters to the right based on the sequence number. So we are on sequence number 2. This is 1, 2, 3, and 4 for sequence numbers, if it ever refers to the sequence number. So we're shifting it right by 2 because we're on sequence number 2. So LO gets shifted right over here. Now, if you have duplicate letters, as yellow does, make sure they do not count as the same, but if you have LL, that is 1 and 2. They are 2 different numbers. It is just the order they come in the code. So this would be 1, 3, 4, 2, because the 2 L's come at the beginning, so we just put them in reading order, so 1, 3, 4, 2. Remember this is 1, 3, 4, 2, cool. Next is green with Mike. Let's do green. Green rule is counting. Everybody loves counting. What is it going to be? So we're going to convert Mike to a 2-digit number using the alphanumeric position. So Mike is 13, that is a 6, it's 13. And then it is not less than 10. Add each digit independently, the number of G's and 7's in a serial number. Glad I deleted it. Let's look. We don't have any golfs or 7's in the serial number. So we don't need to do this rule, but if there was one, like let's just say there was a 7 in the serial number, our number would become 2, 4. We've added 1 to each number individually. Then we take each digit modulo of 4. So if we had like 3, 8, it would become 3, 0. But we don't need to modulo. So it stays as 1, 3. And then we use these 2 digits in all 4 combinations as their own column. What it means by this is we have 1, 1, 1, 3, 3, 1, and 3, 3. So, and this is 0 index, mind you. Top left is 0, 0. So 1, 1 would be here. 1, 3 would be here. 3, 1 be here. 3, 3 would be here. Now what we're doing with this is we're counting the number of lines. What I like to do is if it's odd, I just count 1, and if it's even, I count 0. So I have, and I like to find groups of 2 sticks because I'm just counting if it's odd or even. So 2, 2, 2, so this top left one has an even number, right? this one always makes my eyes hurt. Yeah, okay, that has an even number. 2, 2, 2, that has an even number at the top right, bottom left. 2, 2, 2, 1. Now we have an odd number in total. 2, 2, 2, 1. So we have 2 odd ones in the bottom left and bottom right, and that adds up to an even number, because 1 plus 1 is 2, and that's even. So now we look up here, and if the number of lines we've counted is even, reverse the sequence, and we just take our current sequence number. So we're on the green, so that's sequence 3. There's an even number of sticks in here, so we're going to reverse that to 2, 3, 3, 4. Let me just double check. Yes, 2, 3, 3, 4. 2, 3, 3, 4. And then finally, November in blue. Yes, okay. Just making sure. Okay, so what is the blue rule? Oh, right, we've done this. Okay. So we're going to take the key, it's 14, so that's a 4. We don't have anything else like that in the serial number, so that's there. Now our starting position is here. Okay, we've done this rule before, so we can just do it. Start with north, we have none, and then start with south and counterclockwise, it said. South clockwise. So we're going left twice. So 2, 4, 1, 3. Because we have 2 D batteries. Let me just 2, 4, 1, 3, and that's solved. Okay, thanks for sticking around, and now you know how to do 7 choose 4.